What does that mean?
So a playing round is we have one slot left in our 16-team
It's called
bracket.
a Cinderella team.
Maybe not.
Like they could win?
We have one slot left.
They might get the chance to meet the prince.
We have one slot left in our 16-team bracket, right? So we're going to pick one of these things to play in to the tournament.
Fun. Okay.
And I picked these three because they're all in their exact same location.
Oh, they're the same
Nice.
place. That's fun.
All right.
So-
what are they?
So it's Hanna-Barbera,
Are we going to watch it?
Jimmy Neutron, and Despicable Me. And I'm not. We're going to watch all these videos, but feel free
I'll
to talk
tell you
about
which
them.
one I'm going for already.
They look
This
cool.
is Hanna-Barbera's, which I think is neat because it has a very cartoony look, like everything in there.
Yeah, it looks like you're in an actual cartoon.
Yeah, I think that's neat.
And these cartoons are written for the ride?
I'd just like to say in this building, like all these kind of copy each other probably, right? Like they're like up on the screen, but like I really love the layout of this pre-show no matter what it is. But I don't know if this probably is the best one.
You mean
I
the
think.
layout of standing in the room and looking up at the big things on the wall?
Yeah, and like
It looks
trying to make it
organic.
look like they're really there, like behind a screen.
Yeah.
And like talking to you, spraying something at you probably.
I don't
mean,
know
it's
if they
cool.
did that
Yogi's
back in-
talking to you, and then this one I also like because it actually goes into the making
They used to do that all the
so
time
much.
back
This
then.
is going to be a theme that comes up a
It
lot
was
when
so
we're looking
much.
at this. Like they're talking about
That back in the day used to be more about like the behind the
like-
scenes.
the making
It was
of.
more like this is a movie studio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And look how cool it is. You're getting to look at all these old cartoon sketches.
that is cool.
It's pretty neat. Anyway, you get the idea. That's the Hanna-Barbera pre-ride.
So that video with those real guys in it is in there too?
Yeah. That's part. Yeah, that's all in that.
I never did this one. I'm sure I've said
Seriously?
it before.
You
But
really didn't?
No, I never did Hanna-Barbera. It would have had to been when I was there with Sarah, and we did not do it.
Oh, I remember Jimmy Neutron. I remember the Jimmy Neutron.
So
one.
let's check out Jimmy Neutron. You'll see that. Look,
This one's
that didn't even
awesome.
change. They kept the screens the same.
This being all Nickelodeon-y and like 90s techy
Yeah.
is like awesome.
Jimmy Neutron was great.
Okay, this one's way less like looks like real, not like real life, but like they're just like on a screen kind of.
Yeah. He
Oh, yeah,
sees
they're
you
not,
now.
like,
Then he
supposed to be
now he comes
standing
up-
there.
It does now.
I mean, yeah, but like what?
It's like you're
Is
looking
he-
at
I think
It's
he
not as
is
good.
on a screen though, because
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
a
but
TV.
you're looking at like a video monitor.
right. It's like
Right.
a FaceTime.
Right.
That used to be a big cool thing back in the day.
True.
But also, it looks like there's a place where they're going to come talk to you.
So it's another setup. It's the cartoon. It's in the same layout that Hanna-Barbera was. It's cool. They show you the park map. That's kind of funny, even
Very
if it isn't
cool.
accurate.
At all.
No. Pretty cool though, huh?
I don't know.
Jimmy
he's
Neutron
kind
was
of
open
annoying.
for 10 years. Isn't that
That's
doesn't
crazy.
that seem
Wow.
longer? Because I was like,
That seems
this ride
shorter.
had to be open for 5 years, and how is
Yeah.
that possible? But it is 10 years.
And then here we
Okay.
go
So for
Waiting for the day Fast and Furious hits 10
Despicable
years.
Me,
Let me look.
It's not Jimmy Neutron. I'll just say that now.
the queue is
Look,
nice.
It's definitely Despicable Me, let me tell you now, because you're in
No.
Gru's house, you're watching these funny videos, then you go into another room and there's another pre-show. Like, there's 2 pre-shows.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, but that, we have to
And the
assume that
second
all
one
of them
is
have
so
that too.
funny and interactive and, like, relatable and, like, it's
and
just good.
one of the screens is like in Jimmy Neutron. It is a video screen, but they make it really clear because they put all of the stuff around the edge to show you like this is a video you're watching, or not a video, but a live feed.
Right.
And
But
then they have the
But
ones
this
where
is
it's
really
like
the safety stuff and like in the line. The pre-show is like when you get into the room. That's what we're
Okay, and
judging.
But,
Yeah, I know.
But those
that.
other ones were all before this and only that. So Jimmy Neutron and Hanna-Barbera were just like in the Gru's house area.
Right.
And then there was nothing after that.
I know. That's
Then
what
you
I'm
went-
saying.
that
you
is,
went
So
this
straight
is
in.
that's the end.
But in this one, Mom's right. You get the Gru's house area, and then you go into this lab
yeah, but
area.
I prefer less pre-show. I just want one thing before I get to go. I don't like. I'd
Okay,
rather
but
just be on my phone.
The first
and-
one is really just like you're waiting in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just in Gru's house
I don't
and
think
there
that's
is a
fair to
video
judge
playing.
against. I feel like it's this part
Yeah,
that we're
this is
judging.
what we're
Yeah,
talking
so
about.
this part is the
For
part
me-
that looks like windows.
Yeah,
and
like when they're
inside.
up above you and Gru's talking to you and the daughters come out. For me, it goes on too long. There's like awkward silence and the fart gun thing never works. And it's just
Never
like,
works. I literally last time I went and we told that
It
story, that was the
works.
first time I had not seen it work.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it
That's the
worked every
first time I had
time.
No,
seen
stop,
this whole
stop. It
thing
works.
like malfunction anyway.
It works, but it goes like for like 20 full seconds before it actually
Tayan,
like the
you're
fart
literally trying to
happens.
think of my story.
I'm just saying that I
Tayan,
guarantee you Hanna-Barbera didn't get to a level like that.
Also,
You are not thinking of this correctly. Hold on, Mom.
What?
Tayan, Usually there's audio playing and you can't tell when that happens.
You
but
can because it's so loud.
Because I never knew that happened until it malfunctioned and the audio cut out and I could hear that. And I said that last week and now you're just like trying to make it a point.
I've always,
all right, enough.
For
Anyway,
years it's just been like.
Anyway,
I want to talk about something. In this pre-show, it's cool because they identify somebody in the line that like farted.
that's a fun.
They
gag.
put the spotlight on you,
That
which
is
is
fun.
very
camera
funny.
goes through them. Yeah, I like that. I always like when like there is like this
It like brings
big
you
crowd
guys
interaction
together.
thing. Yeah. Okay. So I think let's all agree Jimmy Neutron isn't one of the contenders.
No.
That's the
No.
bottom three of these three that we're going to weed out. It
Yeah.
really does come down to Hanna-Barbera, Despicable Me for me. And I could go either way, but I would lean Despicable Me, I think.
Well, I picked I prefer Despicable Me.
Me too.
Zine?
I don't care.
And I hope it's not just
You
because
know
like
which one I want.
the old
Which one?
video.
Despicable Me.
Perfect.
All right, so Despicable Me makes it into the big dance. They are the Cinderella team.
No, that doesn't mean that necessarily.
Yeah, it does.
No, the
They
Cinderella
don't
team.
win.
The Cinderella team is the one that
Okay, see,
No
like
one
I don't
predicted
know
the win
this.
to start
I
with.
don't know the Cinderella wording
We-
because I'm not
it's
a
not even
football
apparently
fan.
I don't either.
So
It
let's
doesn't
just,
need to come
let's
into
just
this.
move along.
Okay, so we're going to go in brackets. We have 4 brackets, 4 teams per bracket because we have a 16-team bracket. In the first bracket, in our first matchup, we have a 1 seed versus a 4 seed. It's Fast and Furious in the 1 seed versus Jimmy Fallon in the 4 seed.
T.
Do we need to watch these, or are
No.
we good to just talk about
Wait,
them?
Fast and Furious is top seed?
Yeah, wait, what? That's number 1?
Because it's a
This
good
was a weird
pre-show.
one, but here's what the selection committee decided on this front. There's a lot of pre-show involved. There's at least 2 actors.
Yeah, live action.
There's 2 rooms even that have stuff going on. Mm-hmm. And compared to the ride, it itself is better. So you could argue
Yeah, that
that
is
the best
fair.
reason to go to this thing is the pre-show itself.
That doesn't make it a 1 seed though.
I think
Of the pre-shows,
I
I'm
would
looking
say
ahead
all
and
those
like
things-
I'm looking ahead, and the other 1 seeds have nothing for a pre-show really.
The scene things don't matter to me because at the end of the day, isn't the one that
Compared
we
to
actually
Fast and
like the
Furious.
best going to win? It's not like they're actually competing.
Yes, that's
Right,
exactly
yes,
true.
it
Right?
is.
Like,
Right.
It doesn't matter.
all it does though is it makes sure that 2 1 seeds don't go against each
Right,
other at the
exactly.
beginning. That's all that it
Because
does.
then you'd be eliminating one of the best ones right
Right.
at
It's
the
just a
beginning.
this or that
Right,
scenario.
but like even then, it doesn't even really matter because the number 1's still going to win.
All right, so Fast and Furious, we
My
like I
thing
said,
with this
it's
is
a lot
I've
of
always
acting.
said the same thing about Fast and Furious and Fallon is that the line is better than the ride. So I think the Fallon
It's
line
Fallon.
is better.
I'm putting the
I don't even
Fallon
have to
video on
talk
because look at
about
this. Universal actually officially has this on YouTube as something you can just watch.
That's
The whole
fun.
pre-show?
The Roots singing the whatever.
Safety thing.
Yeah, the safety
It's like the
precautions.
best safety
It's so
intro
good.
ever, I think.
It's the best safety
That or
precautions rap in the
Simpsons.
world.
It's really good. I mean, I really get hyped every time I see this.
I know.
Yep. And like for a second, a part of my brain is kind of tricked that I'm at Jimmy Fallon. I don't know why.
Yeah, like
it's
you
like the on-air thing, and like I always love convincing like everyone in the line to like clap like as hard as you can. Really act
you
like
don't
you're
have to
there.
convince
In the
them.
Fast and Furious line, there are real humans acting, which is commendable and great. But in
cringy.
this
But I
one,
don't give a
they're
crap about
not
what they're
live, but
doing.
it feels like somehow it feels like they are.
I mean,
Yeah.
look
It
at that
feels like
though.
we're there.
I mean, this is really cool.
Yeah, but I can't
Yeah, but these
stand
people
it.
don't
And then
feel
you
live.
do 2 more of these, and then they're just like
I always feel
they're all
bad
saying
for
the
these
same
people.
Yeah,
dumb
I
stuff.
still don't
like it.
think that more pre-show is better, like at all.
Only cool thing about this line is, or these pre-shows, is that their names are Jamie and Pat.
I want one
So
thing that gives me a bunch of information, sets up the ride, gives me the safety kinda, and gets me on
I'm
the
going
ride.
to call back to this later because this is something I want to talk about, but it'll come up more later. But I hear what you're saying. I think that is a trend that has drastically changed, and I'll explain why later.
in
I wanna say
favor of
something.
what I'm saying.
No, opposite.
Fast
Damn.
and the Furious. Okay, so when this ride first came out and nobody knew that it sucked yet, the show was a little different and it was more serious. But then it changed once everybody knew it sucked and people were there like, anyway, they knew it sucked. So the actors say changes. Like they make fun of what they're saying as they say it, which really I find troubling. Like I don't like that, but they have to do it because the ride's
like it.
lame.
I like that they do because they make fun of like the
They
family
have to make
thing.
fun of it.
Yeah, why
I
not?
But
like
I just
how it's
hate
a little
that,
bit more
they
like
do.
Campy.
improvisational and like you can update the set or whatever.
That
Right.
makes it worse though.
We have to
'cause you
decide.
know that
Yeah,
the ride
I think it's
sucks.
definitely
Fallon or
Fallon.
Fast and Furious?
Fallon.
I agree. All right, so that's an
Because
upset.
we didn't even mention this, but also pre-show technically would be the quartet. It's literally 4 guys singing to you in a quartet, modern day songs.
I think
fun.
that counts too.
Doesn't even matter that they're not from Jimmy Fallon. It's like the same idea. So like, it's like seeing them live. It's
They
awesome.
are from Fallon.
They're from
He used to have those.
NBC.
He used to have those.
They're
Those
not
guys
all
on
the
the
same
show?
guys every single day.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I think you meant just the characters of them.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get what
gotcha.
I know. I know what you're saying.
I
But
got you.
The famous barbershop quartet.
It's not
Right.
them,
Universal.
All right, so this is Jaws. I'm definitely going to just click through this. So the concept of the Jaws video, and remember, this is just TVs that are on in that
Yeah.
whole line.
It's such a great concept.
It's this really funny. It's like very campy. They talk a lot about Amity
It's
and
like a
Jaws,
local TV show
Right.
channel.
and then they show parody TV shows, like shows that formats we'd have been familiar with at the time, like the A-Team, but it'll be shark related.
Yep.
Or like some
so it's like
hospital
Shark
drama.
Week, but like
Kind
on
of.
this channel.
Like, see, there's like fake
And there's
commercials
ads.
too.
Why is everything sharks though?
Because it's like
they're
Amity.
famous for it. They're in
and
Amity.
they're playing up for the tourism
Oh,
that they have a big scary shark.
Oh, okay, that's funny.
It's so perfect. I mean, it just makes the ride perfect.
And you have these weird campy hosts. I mean, this is very weird.
Yeah, this all feels very
It's
off.
very dated,
but
it
it's
was
so
perfect
funny
for the time.
at the time. Like going through and like, because we were so familiar with like local TV and also, like he said, like shows that everybody watched, and they were playing all.
I think
all
it's
of
really
that.
funny.
It is.
And just even the concept that Amity in some future decided to embrace this shark thing and make it a tourist town for that. That's awesome.
This is the House of Huge Helpings. They show like a stack of 20 pancakes.
It just seems so random.
But then like the news will break in and talk about,
The shark.
That's cool.
I love it.
and then more fake commercials, anchors.
Is this all? Does this loop, or is the full thing 51 minutes?
It's really long.
It's just constantly going, so
It
you
is
would never
looping.
see it
You would
all.
never
I
see
think
all
it
this.
really
Right.
is 51 minutes.
Yeah,
though.
it's
and
51
you don't
minutes
see
long.
the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like the Simpsons thing.
It's 51 minutes of original content, right? Like, look, this is like a people's court kind of thing. Even, I mean, they really
So many
went
actors
all
and-
out for this.
They had to work so much on this. They even have a fake Miami Vice.
And this is an opening day ride too.
Well, not exactly.
Why?
Oh, look, and then here's some clips from the movie.
Is this pre-ride footage from like when it was like updated hella?
So I don't think this made it into like the year 2 of the ride.
Okay. That makes sense.
What? Oh, until. Right, yeah.
All right, so that's that. Jaws, very campy, very dated.
I hope that's a 1 seed.
I like it though. It's
Those
a
are
Oh,
two
it's a
seed.
2. Okay.
All right, but we have that pitted against Green Gots, which is a very different format of a pre-ride.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you guys this. What's the story of Green Gots?
That you are trying to get into your bank,
Your vault.
right? And then Bill
Wait.
Weasley.
Weasley.
It's too loud.
I don't know
Yeah,
why
does he keep doing that?
I can't hear it. I haven't.
I don't know what he's doing.
Anyway,
But I don't know. Like what? I don't know why Bill's even there and why he. I don't know what in the pre-show he says to like be like, I'll come with you.
Zane, do you have
That's
any-
the
funny,
one
like-
pre-show that I just zoned
Okay, no,
out
I
in.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Bill is there and he's trying to make sure that Harry, Ron, and Hermione are okay because they're doing the thing from the movies, and he assists you as like a good wizard to go with you to your vault.
'Cause he knows that
we're there
shit's
to
going
open
down?
an account.
Huh?
We're there to open an account.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Why that other goblin gets involved, I'm still
He
not
was
very
our like
sure.
banker guy.
So
I
he's the one
guess.
who's going to be taking us there?
Yeah,
I
he's
guess
the
so.
Bill
banker.
And then
pops
Bill's
in.
like, okay, I'm going to
Bill's
take y'all
not a
too.
banker.
Yeah, but he's a wizard. They're like goaded.
Oh, I know.
barely
Like you
works
said,
there.
he's probably there
We're in
because
Bill's-
Harry and Hermione
We're in Bill's
and
office.
Ron.
Oh.
Oh.
So he is a banker.
the banker
Yeah.
one.
See what I mean? I'm
Ooh,
saying all of
Kayla's
this
gonna
to say,
knock us down.
Are you sure in Bill's
I'm
office?
positive. I say all of this because until I watched the ride, the pre-show, I thought I really don't pay very much attention to this, even while it's happening.
Yeah.
We kind of just go through quickly, which brings me to what I want to talk about a minute ago with you, Tan.
What?
I feel that today the ride lines move in such a way that we often don't even have time to get the full story that used to be happening.
Especially
in
if
the
it's
lines.
a room like that, because you're only in that room once. It's not like Jaws where it's constantly in front of your face.
For example, I was reading about this line. You know how there's those photo booths?
Yeah.
those were there, and the story was you were having your photo taken for your ID for your vault.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always thought it was for the newspaper or something.
we did that the first time
I
we
know
wrote
we did it.
Yeah, but
the
I didn't know
story
why
was
we were doing
right.
it.
The story was originally come in here and take a photo for your ID card.
Right.
And then remember
the story
this last
is really
time.
not doesn't.
This was the
flow.
era of Universal having two big ideas and they didn't work out ever.
But they did.
They didn't.
There were
we
times
have
that
Fast
they
and
did.
Furious line didn't. No, I'm saying Fast and Furious, Fallon, Gringotts. Those all came around the same time. No,
Yeah.
that was a bad era for Universal
Why?
because, like, I'm saying, like,
Well,
for these little ideas of like this cue that they're going to use for Fallon that like will distract people, never used because it's not popular
enough.
or
Yeah.
just like they just can't do it. And
But Gringotts
Gringotts,
is
why
super
aren't they doing the
popular.
thing?
I don't know.
Like, it's just like they had weird ideas back then that they just
I think
couldn't
it's
Do you
go
because-
count
with.
the? You know what I really like in the pre-show?
ideas for the ride
Gringotts?
lines. He means the cues.
I'm hoping it's
Are
not
we
like
talking about that
today.
now?
What? Go
The
ahead.
elevator.
I don't think that's part. I consider
I
that
think
part of the
that's
ride.
part of it.
I think it's part of the ride.
No, that's part of the
No,
pre-show
that's what
because
I
you
s-
literally
when
just
I s-
stand
hold
in there.
on.
That's like what Men in Black is.
But hold on.
I didn't want to
time-
like say anything,
Go ahead,
but
Zane.
why isn't this all lines in general?
because
It's
we-
like that is such a big broad like part of it.
we did queue
We
tier
tried to-
systems.
we wanted
That's
to
why.
I
be-
didn't
Yeah, we
remember
did
doing that.
lines
we did
or
the,
something.
we did the lines as a tier list instead of a bracket.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
long ago.
I don't remember that.
We did. About the elevator. The last time we were there, remember, Zine? We timed how long the line was, and I'm not swearing they don't tell you the wait time to the elevator.
What do you mean? Oh,
Once you get past the elevator,
that's
the
what
wait
you
time
always
is.
say.
I think
but
that's
it's just
true.
like
But
what?
there's always a point in the line where you realize it's been that long, and you're like, maybe they're just taking us to this
Maybe.
showroom. But I think it's
That's just
just-
random.
they're just upping the
Anyway.
the time. To
I think it's just
get less people
debatable
in
if like
there.
standing in there and like, but there is screens above you.
Okay.
Between the Gringotts hologram pre-show and the Jaws fake
51
TV
minute
show,
live action,
Gringotts.
very. Wait, you said
Produced.
I would take
I'm
Jaws.
saying
Gringotts? I said
Gringotts.
Jaws.
Jaws.
I think Jaws is way
100%.
I'm
cooler.
saying green.
Is it
dots.
coincidence that both of these are like?
We've ridden that ride
Alright,
so,
never mind.
so many times, and we don't even really understand what the story is.
I understand.
And
Was
with
it
Jaws,
coincidence
they
what,
built
Zane?
a whole
nothing.
town of story in
That's
that
not
video.
story. That's just like
It's a whole
satire.
It's a whole universe, basically, of Amity
Oh,
that
here's
they
an
made
example.
in that video.
Would you be if you were waiting in
Oh, I
line?
broke my nail in my hair.
If you were waiting in line for 45 minutes,
Just going
Would I
back
rather
and
watch-
forth.
that Bill
Jaws,
loop
all
over and
the-
over again for 45 minutes, or the Jaws thing that you're never
I
able
would
to do
never
the same
watch
thing?
the Bill loop again in 45 minutes.
That's my point. So which is better? I mean, if the idea is that the goal is to entertain,
I would honestly.
the goal is to entertain you while you're in line.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess
or
you're
to
We're
right.
not
story.
comparing lines.
We're not.
But the presentation of the Bill thing, you're in a really cool room that,
Sure.
and it's hologram. I mean, it's cool.
But Jaws is like a full like blown TV.
You're right. I prefer
yeah.
like something playing in the background all the time.
I think the fact that they built a whole universe to describe a future possible
It's not a
Amity.
whole universe. It's not like these people are characters with names and you meet them and you're like, oh, there's Johnny House. That's the news anchor.
We don't need to watch
It's just like a
this.
satire of like
I know
local
this like the back of
television.
my hand.
Okay, so let's talk about Simpsons and.
So wait, do we choose green or
Did
yes,
you
we
cut and
chose
paste it?
Jaws. Whoops.
I think it's never mind.
Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I'm just not born in the 90s, or like we all aren't living in the 90s or whatever. Like that would literally make me want to die today if that was there.
Yeah, well, so with the
Okay.
line, it's 100
yeah.
degrees, and you're just walking back and forth outside next to
now
people.
we're getting serious.
All right, so
here.
we're in the Simpsons line. This is pretty great.
The Simpsons is my favorite pre-show. It's just like
It all connects.
it's better writing
Yeah.
for The Simpsons than the actual TV show when this came out. And the way that it like all connects to the ride, it's all like good lore to teach you. It's not just like I mean, a lot of it is just stupid jokes and stuff, but like
That's
a lot
what
of the
it is.
time,
Yeah.
it is telling you stuff about the ride.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
it's a perfect pre-show, and I agree with everything you said, Tan.
Yeah. It's perfect.
and the itchy and
It's the
scratchy
best.
safety videos. So
It's
Yeah,
so-
that's
it's the
so
best
good.
one.
I mean, that's what I'm
I
thinking. Is you really have this in three parts. You have the stuff you
Yeah.
watch outside, which
Yeah.
tells the story of
Okay,
Doc
no,
Brown. And
you also get like the constant like Jaws thing where there's just like videos playing while you're just waiting
Right.
in like boring
Yep. And it's
lines,
just
and that's like a
Simpsons
good
clips.
vibe.
Exactly.
It's just like best of Simpsons.
this
That's
whole
awesome.
line is full of just.
Then you get
pre-show.
upstairs and you're waiting to get in like
in
the
this room
numbers,
with
and
the
you see
carnival.
like cool
Yeah.
like characters and stuff, and then you get to go in your own own room and see like a whole real video.
So I think there's a lot going on.
It's
a
the
lot of
best.
content.
And the video in the room is just
it's so
funny.
funny. There's so many good jokes in it.
that kid with his squeaky
the
voice and
growing,
his book upside
all
down.
that stuff. Oh, the book up. Yeah, it's all so good.
It's the best.
All right, so that's against Hagrid's though.
Hagrid's
Which we
isn't
don't even
that
see that very
good.
often.
Why do we like skip over Hagrid's?
We didn't. We're saying it's,
We didn't talk about it.
we are
We
now.
just did it in another order.
Hagrid's is a 1 seed. Not that matters much.
We don't get to see this pre-show very much.
Literally, I've seen
To
it
me,
once or
the
twice
only
in
thing
my
this
life.
pre-show is just seeing the dog cutely like run around.
Yeah,
It doesn't even look that. It looks like
this
shit
pre-show
right now.
makes me
That's
always
it
think.
never looks good on video.
Oh,
It always makes me think like. First off, I never see it because it's too busy. And when I do see it, I'm just like, okay, now why are they showing this now when I know that we could be like moving lines?
the Harry Potter pre-ride foot or shows are always just like not really setting up like a good story to me. They're kind of just like showing you why these motorcycles fly, and then they're just like, okay, now let's go.
They are giving you a reason that we're here at least.
Yeah,
which is cool.
But like, I prefer like set up a story. Like, I don't know.
I like the hologram rooms, mostly just because I can try to skip the line in them. But I think that they're not as good as something that it's not the best approach to entertaining us in the line.
No, and if I was someone who got skipped, I'd be pissed. So
Yeah, and also because there's people like me in there who aren't even paying attention to the video; they're just trying to skip line.
Also,
and
the
that's
way the
messed up.
audio sounds in there, I feel like I can't even hear what they're saying. You know what I mean?
I feel like I can never hear what they're saying. Honestly,
It sounds
Yeah,
like
it's-
when someone's talking on a microphone in a gym.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is very hard to hear. You're right.
You just don't hear what they're saying.
That's why I usually don't know what's going on because I see it, but I don't really know what they're saying. They
is
definitely
cool.
could.
I mean,
They
this is
definitely
a-
could do better sound.
This
yeah,
is a
and
very
this
good
one
version
sprays
of
water
this,
at
though.
you. It's
This-
definitely
too
better
long.
than
It's pretty fun.
Gringotts, but they don't
Yeah.
do it, so I don't even get to count it. So,
Yeah,
Simpsons next.
I agree. This
Yeah,
is a very good one,
Simpsons
but it doesn't hit the
wins.
mark.
I'm not counting a
it's good
pre-show.
for that kind of Harry Potter pre-show, but I don't even think
I'm
it's
not
good.
counting a pre-show that they never show. That's why MIB isn't here. So
All right, so Despicable Me we've already watched, and that just played in the bracket to compete against Back to the Future.
Oh,
So you guys know this, and we've seen this. We've talked
I've
about
seen
it.
this. Yeah,
This is pretty great because, like The Simpsons, it's just
This is-
constant information,
yeah.
but it also gives
It's
you
a better version of the Jaws one to me.
much better.
With the
Because at least in this
news
one, you
and
learn
stuff.
about how the Institute of Technology or time travel, and why it's there, what you're there for,
and
the story of Biff stealing it.
the stuff like with like Biff actually getting in the car and stealing it, and him like talking to you, and like the music playing. It's like epic. Like that really makes you feel like
You're in it.
you're in like a separate movie or something.
and
The stakes are high.
they have A-list actors in this pre-show.
True.
Institute
Yeah,
of
they
Future
had to.
Technology. That's what it was.
They didn't have to. They didn't get Brody for Jaws.
They didn't get
well, but
Hermione.
They did all that.
They
for
do
Harry
this
You're
Potter.
really-
right, Mom.
They do this really funny Doc Brown at important parts of history.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Oh my gosh,
And it's
that's
a cool. Is this like an alternate universe where like Doc Brown like? I don't, why does
Did all
everyone
this
know that
stuff?
he like knows how to time travel?
Because it was after the movies and he became famous for.
Right.
movies.
Yeah.
That's so
I
great.
think that's a cool like
Yeah.
What's this up against?
expansion of the lore.
Despicable Me.
Despicable Me or this. See,
So
now
it didn't. We already did Despicable
I
Me.
mean, Despicable Me has A-list
No,
actors
we
too,
picked
technically.
Despicable Me to be in the
But-
lineup.
look, old footage of old inventions.
I
Yeah,
like this
it's
one
really
more than
great.
There's a lot of fun
Despicable Me.
stuff.
You're right,
watch.
Tayan. It is very much like the Jaws concept.
Yeah.
Oh, look, a robot vacuum. Oh, no, it's a robot dog feeder. Sorry.
Dog treats.
Look, and then you see like him talking about the ride car and Biff. I mean, this is.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
and there's like
it's-
cool sets, and he has like a mini DeLorean.
Yeah.
And you know you're walking into that place, so you feel that you're watching the video of the thing that's happening inside as
Right.
you're working your way in.
It builds a lot of hype.
All right, so Back to the Future over Despicable Me.
I don't care.
Yes.
I
I
don't want
definitely
to say
say yes.
anything.
Zine likes the Despicable Me one a lot.
Yeah, but it's the same reason Dad likes Back to the Future.
Do you want it
It's
to keep
nostalgia.
its color when you paste it in, Brian?
No. Okay, we're on to our third bracket now. We have Earthquake versus Twister. These are two that neither of you are very familiar with. Let's watch Earthquake first, because this is definitely different.
I remember the earthquake one.
So even before you get to this spot,
I don't think we ever rode Earthquake, Tayan.
I did.
We
I wrote
Disaster.
Disaster.
I think you might have wrote Earthquake too.
When did
Tayan.
Earthquake
Wait, what is
close?
earthquake?
It's
It was
the
what
same
became
ride.
Disaster.
I thought that's with Christopher Walken.
No, not so. This is the original. This is Earthquake, and this is in the room where Christopher Walken eventually was. But this
but
is
first it was just Earthquake.
Right. And this ran
with
way
no,
longer.
Is Disaster in this?
No, because this was much longer than Earthquake and Disaster. But watch this. This is interesting.
But Disaster had a hologram with Christopher
So
Walken.
you're looking at the opening.
I don't remember that.
I remember the
Disaster
Walken.
opened with a Christopher Walken
Just
hologram.
yeah, he's like the
Watch
main
this.
character.
I kind
Zane.
of remember a hologram, but Christopher Walken's insane.
It was really cool.
So you're watching a movie.
Zine, watch.
So this is from Earthquake, this scene?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there's a movie called Earthquake?
Yes.
Yes.
A real movie.
One of the
Original
very
disaster
popular
movies.
disaster movies.
And
Yeah,
look,
but like,
you're watching Hollywood suffer an earthquake.
Disaster movies were a
not
thing
make
of
it
the
into
70s,
this?
like zombie apocalypse movies were.
So you see all this happen, and this is what I wanted you to see.
The hologram?
So he comes on and talks. This is no.
So there's no
Hester.
hologram in this, yet you picked it over Disaster.
Yes.
Watch, because this is important. They're teaching you how the movie was made. This is back to the old thing that Universal used to do, no matter what it was. Like you had this idea of you're on a working set,
Yeah.
and this is how movies are made. And they're talking about models and watch.
Then you walk
So
through.
you watch this whole. You don't walk through. You watch this whole thing, and that movie screen lifts up,
And
it
that's the
reveals
real set?
the actual real model
that's
from the movie.
badass.
very
That's
cool.
really cool.
I mean, look at that. That's the miniature
That'd
model.
be goated.
They use.
That'd be goated if I
can't
if
tell
I
what
actually
I'm
wrote
looking
on
at,
that.
though.
It's a miniature
That's what
model.
you just
lifted up
saw that you
the
thought
screen,
that was
But they're all
that you
sitting
thought
in
was
front
real
of it?
life.
Yeah, we're sitting
They're
in the
standing
theater
in line.
watching that, getting ready to go to the
It
ride.
still
Which
looks like a
is,
screen.
It's
I'm
one of
just
those lines
confused.
like Jimmy Fallon where there's wood between. You remember that from Disaster, the line.
Yeah, I remember that. That's really cool.
so I think this
It's
one
very
is really important because it is a pre-show. This is a ride. You know, the Earthquake ride is a ride.
But barely. I mean, it's not like
It's a train.
Even
ride.
like
Fast and Furious is a ride. This is a
or
ride.
like
yeah.
Back
if
to the
Kong is a ride,
Future,
this is a ride.
Yeah, it's like
Jaws.
it's not that much
This
different
one's
from
way
Kong.
more about the production and special
Oh, yeah,
effects and
Yes.
everything.
What it's all
I
about.
agree.
Yeah,
I just thought it was neat. That,
but it is really cool.
I thought it was neat before you get into a ride where you're going to be in an earthquake. They're teaching you about how they actually did it in the movie Earthquake.
Yeah.
And you get to see a major part of the special effects set in the ride.
Yeah,
So that's why that made it in over.
So the story,
I think
I
that's
guess,
silly,
is,
Disaster's a
though,
little
'cause
cheesy though. If
Disaster
we watched that,
is like if we're put like I didn't even know that was a hologram. Like I haven't
we
thought
should
about
watch
that
the
ride
disaster
since
one.
I was little because it literally went away so soon. But I didn't remember there was a hologram. I didn't remember that it was Christopher Walken, and the fact that they had a hologram way before like Harry Potter, which is when I thought they added holograms and stuff, is crazy to me. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
if it's like a
it
good-
really was.
we didn't add their first hologram pre-show to our.
I'm sure it
tier
wasn't
list.
as good, but
On the videos I just saw, it
Can we
looked
go-
realer than
no,
the
Can we save
Hagrids.
this? And
what was cool about
Can we
it
save
was
this and do a whole video about going back? Because this is really nostalgic to me, and I haven't seen this
I
stuff in
know,
so long.
Tanyan.
And going back and going
That's
through
why
the
the
whole
Christopher
experience,
Walken thing tripped
that'd
me
be a
out.
whole episode.
Because
Let's
we can
save
do that.
this. Let's
You can
save
do that.
it.
let's save it.
All right. All right. But so now we have to decide.
I'm sorry you
oh,
have to not
No,
know.
I don't
Zane.
mind that at all.
No, for Zine, I wish he could see it, but I feel like
I
it would be
already
good
looked it up.
Okay, cool.
Like just now?
All right.
Earlier,
So
yeah.
Okay.
All
This
right,
is Twister.
Twister pre-show.
Twister's stupid.
So this,
Even
we're
when I
not
was a
just talking
kid.
about the video, right? We're talking about
This
what
is just the
actually
video.
happened. Oh, just the video?
what else is there?
Oh,
The
it's
ride
actually
is so
Twister. That's what I'm
dumb.
thinking.
I don't remember this at all. Like, it's not a ride, right? You just stand there.
you just
Yeah.
stand there.
I was gonna say I don't
and
remember.
it's just
getting into
loud,
anything.
and like a fake-looking cow flies by you. That's
They're
I
it.
showing
remember
you the
that.
power of a
But
twist. In this whole pre-show, they talk about like the power of Twister and
Oh God,
to
it's got Bill
witness
Paxton
in
in
real
it.
life, and
That's
like
right.
you know, they're trying to show you like what it was like to be in a Twister without being in a Twister.
So Bill Paxton and Helen
But watch
Hunt are
this.
in this
I think
pre-show.
that's pretty neat because look how the footage does this, which I think is neat in the video. It's like going into the Twister disaster area,
Why is it
but
like
then Bill
half a
Paxton
screen?
walks into frame.
with his crooked self.
I like rest in peace, Bill Paxton.
He's dead.
Yeah,
yes,
he is.
please rest in
What
peace,
else is
sir.
he
But
in that I
never
know
liked
so
him.
really
much.
well?
I mean,
I did like him in Alien.
well, I don't know
He
what
was
else-
perfect for that.
Spotlight. No.
Oh yes, he's in Alien.
Yeah.
Aliens.
He's got the really whiny
yes,
voice.
I love him in Aliens.
He's also in Weird Science. He's the older brother.
He's
With
in
the
so many better
buzz cut.
movies than all of
That's
these.
sad.
Oh, look, and then watching
Aliens is such a good movie.
and then the right screen. It's in 2 screens, as you pointed out. Helen Hunt pops up on that screen
You know,
to do her
Helen
little
Hunt.
bit.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
Wow, they really were obsessed with like FaceTiming back then.
And talking to the actors, you
It
know,
seemed magical. It was like you were talking to Helen Hunt. She was
Yeah.
talking to you. She's wearing her cool Twister outfit.
I think the biggest thing this pre-show does is allows them to show clips from the movie and remind you that this was a movie you liked, and gives you a chance for Helen Hunt and Bill
To
Paxton
talk
to
directly
talk
to you.
That's about it.
2 people I've never heard of.
Of course you have it.
Yeah.
And I am as bored right now
Yeah,
as I
but
was
I
when
think
I
that's
wrote that when I
fair.
was little.
That it's just like it's whatever. It's just celebrities. I think the Earthquake one's pretty
100%
cool.
Earthquake is better than Twister.
Yeah, I
in my
hope
book.
both of these don't go anywhere really, but
Oh, they
actually
won't.
all of the ones in this little list are very
I'm fine with Earthquake.
Yeah, I hate
Weird.
this.
Winning.
Look, can we just get
speed run
past
the
these
rest.
two?
What's Shrek
What,
even
Shrek?
like?
Shrek and T2.
You guys don't like the Shrek
No, I
pre-show?
do
Here
like
we
the
are.
Shrek,
I
but that's why
was-
I'm saying let's just choose Shrek.
I was
Actually,
too
like,
young
T2
for
is
all
really
of
good
let's hold
too,
on a
though.
second.
One thing I don't realize is that I literally like should have rode Shrek way before like all the
It
times
closed?
we joked about riding it because I don't remember this at all. I just remember spiders about to get
Yeah,
on my face.
you're right,
but
Zine. There were a
this
lot of
does
times that we
not
were
look
like, oh, we're not
a
going to
memory
ride
to
Shrek.
me.
Or do Shrek.
This stuff's awesome.
This pre-show is great. though.
Even when we knew it was going to close, we didn't ride it. It's just so silly.
Yeah, that is really sad.
We suck.
I hated
yeah,
it.
we do.
We
'Cause
do
You can all
suck.
blame me.
Oh, you hated it? I thought you hated that we didn't do it.
No. It made my back hurt every single time I
You're
rode it.
back.
Yes, the seats bounce
It's
so
on a
much.
roller
I
coaster.
can feel the pain in my back
Isn't
right
it crazy
now.
that hurt, but like Hagrid's doesn't?
Oh, not even close.
Even though you drop.
I'm sad that this pre-show thing is gone. Like I know if like another like 4D theater kind of ride was added, they would have just had the exact same pre-show like Despicable Me is. And I really liked this with like the physical gingerbread and like him talking to you in the mirror. It
The
was
mirror
like,
looks like
it's
a mirror.
cool setup,
And the
just like the
pigs in their
Despicable Me
silly
one.
boxes.
Eyes in their boxes.
Yes,
It's really good.
It is good.
Very smart. Also very funny.
I also-
well written.
Yeah, it is funny.
I'm also sad that this pre-show room is gone because it's also where
Hitchcock was.
was.
I would
which
rather
was
Shrek be
great.
there still than Villain Con. I don't even care.
Oh, Zine.
No.
Villain
way.
Con is
Wow.
Cast Trip.
That's
if
the
you don't
hottest
know.
thing ever.
It pissed me off so much and
No.
like reminded me that I hate it again.
No.
I hated Shrek.
We should have wrote
From the
Shrek.
minute it was
Shrek
brand
is just
new.
a
Remember.
4D like movie.
It
Like
was
I don't
never good.
care.
And Villain Con is just a chaotic.
It's a fun
brain-
gun game with like a
Now,
app tied with it. It's
If you would
awesome.
if you'd give me
moving walkway with
if-
little children and like gun pointer aiming things everywhere. Like
if you would
can't
give
see what
me
you're doing.
Hitchcock back over all of them, yes, I would take it any day. But I would never take Shrek back.
Okay, yeah, I would take that over.
I'm a
this too,
Villain
but-
Con stan.
And also, like Zine said, we didn't do Shrek enough, so he doesn't remember being annoyed by it.
So this is exactly.
And I
so
loved Shrek. I would never be annoyed by it.
It was.
I don't think
great.
we've been very clear to our listeners yet. We are in the last matchup of our third bracket, which is Shrek versus T2.
which is
Terminator.
Terminator 2.
Right, Terminator 2. So this is the same room that the Bourne Waiting is in. This big screen up here is.
This one's awesome. I remember watching it for the podcast for something.
I have a lot. I have something to say about this one.
Go ahead.
So when I first went to Universal, I've said this before, but I left Universal saying T2 is my favorite ride at Universal, which is kind of silly, but that's what I thought at the time. And this pre-show is a big part of it. It's not the whole part of it, but there's a real person there. Wait, does this also count the videos that you get to see
Yeah,
while you're waiting in
absolutely.
line? The videos while you're waiting in line, I felt like they are convincing me that I think we're like investors
Yeah,
in the
let's
company.
watch- no, we're just there. We're part to see their demonstration. I guess
Right.
maybe we are.
Well, I think they
investors.
want us to invest.
I don't remember that, but maybe. But so you have a real actress talking about their technology, right? And then they give us this little example
Of their technology.
of like what Cyberdyne can do. Robotic,
And it's all very creepy. like
yeah,
it's supposed to
like
be.
dystopian.
You're
yeah,
like,
like this. Look, see, like the robot tucks you in while the mom's on the screen. Back to the
Wait,
popular
wait.
FaceTiming
She's
thing.
back
she's
real quick.
traveling for work.
Hold on.
FaceTime again.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That sounded like the Bourne music right there.
Oh, that's interesting.
I swear.
Huh.
Like the.
Oh, I know what you're talking about,
just-
Zane.
Doesn't it?
Can you skip back and now I know that what music Zane's talking about?
Listen.
No, back.
Shh. No, it was while she's in bed. Don't you think? Didn't you hear that?
A little bit.
No, it sounds like West Wing music or something.
They also,
Now it sounds like Bourne something.
it had this really
It
funny.
keeps doing the exact same tones like it just is.
It had this really funny bit about Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh,
Yeah, like-
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, he's in it here in a second.
I honestly think this one might be better
It's
the
than
so
Bourne
Shrek.
music
cool.
I
has
think
to
so,
be
too.
an ode to this.
It's just so cool because you really feel like it's got high production value because they're advertising this to you, telling you
This
it's
one-
awesome, and you can tell that it's terrifying, not awesome.
Yeah, this is a perfect matchup because it's like this is like the adult version of the Shrek pre-show. It's like setting up like this awesome like movie that you're about to watch, but it's like Terminator. Like
Well,
everyone
and
loves
then
Terminator.
these guys cut
They
in.
break
Is
into the
that
video, and it really is the actor and
Sarah
actress.
and
He's
Sarah
old.
and John Connor come in and they start talking to you.
That's awesome.
So they cut in, they break into the video and warn you
And they're
that
like,
you don't want
"We
to go
gotta
any.
shut this down,"
Right,
or
so
whatever.
Now they're bringing in the whole like ride stuff, and you've learned about the bad guys, and
So you know something scary's going to happen in there, and they're going to try to save the day or stop it.
What is like there's like some really cool effect that you guys showed us on the podcast like
That's, like,
years and
during the
years
ride.
ago. Okay.
In the ride.
Yeah, in the
or
ride, there's a
in the
really big
thing.
cold steam effect that covers the whole audience.
Anyway, I wish I could have rode that.
It
Me
was
personally,
it was great.
I remember
absolutely
when it was
loved it.
open, but I just never remember
ahead, Zane.
riding it.
Me personally would say Shrek.
I'm saying Terminator.
I'm voting
Me too.
Terminator.
That's fine, but that's why I started.
Thanks for starting.
Thanks, Scene. Thanks for understanding.
All right, our last bracket. Oh, this is a pretty heavy
This is
hitter
a
in this
heavy
first
one.
matchup. We have Velocicoaster versus Spider-Man.
What is Spider-Man's pre-show? Just like the videos
This
that
is
play
the
in the back?
cartoon, which
It's awesome.
the cartoon is great, and I'll tell you, this is pretty neat in the cartoon. Is that
It's all good lore too. It feels like It feels like an episode of a cartoon.
it establishes
I don't even
the villains you're going to
have
see
a
in the
memory
ride.
of this.
We don't see it very often. Is
It's
the
like
problem.
in the TVs in the
In
in
that
the
big
real
room
line.
with the scoop in the
This is
middle.
a perfect example
Yeah,
of what I was
there's
talking
the
about
scoop,
earlier.
but that's
If
not
you
part
had
of our-
time to actually watch this video, like in line, we would learn so much more.
That's what I'm gonna say. The fact y'all even said this has lore about the ride shocks me because
But-
I thought this would have been a Simpsons
So here's what the-
situation. and
here's
they're
what the
just
ride is teaching you.
Spider-Man clips.
It's introducing you to all the characters you're going to meet, the villains, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's introducing you to why the scoop exists at all.
Yep.
It introduces you to the idea that the scoop's not ready yet,
Yeah.
but they're sending you out ahead of time before it's even ready. So it puts this like moment of suspense
Mm-hmm.
in it.
That it gives you that Jay Jonah is like trying to like
Will
have
do
something
anything.
better than Peter Parker
Right.
to get photos.
And like, look, you have this whole cartoon section right here about
and
the
it's
scoop.
all in the classic Spider-Man 90s
Yeah, but-
cartoon style, and to this day still too.
Look,
Okay.
there's the scoop.
I appreciate all they did for this and that it tells a big story, but my problem with it is
It's funny.
it's like a cartoon that I would never want to watch.
Yeah, I
like,
can't
if it was
tell
Saturday
that-
morning, I would be turning it to try to
That's
find
a
like
matter
Care
of
Bears.
preference.
Yeah, because I love it.
No, so I disagree completely.
So like I usually don't absorb much of this because it just annoys me that it's like Spider-Man cartoon on the TV.
Look,
It's actually funny though.
it's very
I'm sure
good.
it is.
Look, they're talking again. It's in a little. Make sure you put everything away before you get into the scoop
Like cigarettes.
and your camera. No camera.
That actually used to
like
be
this
funny
would
back
be
in the
more
day.
loved
Bro.
and appreciated if it was like a 5-minute clip that Universal was showing
So you
people
had to
instead
watch-
of like throwing a big 30-minute video into a room full of people and other things to look at. Like that's why this doesn't hold anything for me. I don't know about this.
Isn't that weird though?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
they failed.
I don't
to
think
make
they
this a
failed.
good pre-show. They didn't fail to make a good pre-show.
Back
they
in the
failed
day
to make
when
it known.
we would be staying still for
Right.
a minute or 2 minutes at a time before even
That's why
moving.
pre-shows are dying because there's no standing still
That's
anymore.
That's because they've
They
gotten
move- they
better
move
at
fast.
moving
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's
lines.
great.
So they haven't failed. They've gotten better.
They need to
I mean, they
adjust the
failed-
pre-shows
For-
though to make them
honestly-
keep moving too.
I like this one a lot.
I love it.
It needs to be more like Jaws, where you see the pre-show no matter where you are in the line, instead of you only see it if you're in that room.
The Velocicoaster pre-show is a meme.
It's that one
It's,
line
like,
is a
stuck in
meme
my
and the rest
brain.
is all perfect.
Love it.
She's
It's
right
just, like,
standing there in front of the
immersive. It's
ride.
not, like,
Shut up,
funny
Tan.
or
I don't know why you always
entertaining.
yell over me.
Yeah, stop.
She's standing right there in front of the ride we're about to ride. She's trying to make it sound good. Then Owen comes on and it does the same thing as Spider-Man
I like
where
it a
it
lot.
tries to kind of scare you that it's like
it.
not
I
safe.
love that this looks real.
What is
and
this 6 TV thing? Why couldn't they just
I
get
don't
a
like
big
that
TV?
either.
Yeah,
That's
that
so
is
ugly.
poor.
I agree with
it's
that.
giving like your billion-dollar company you can.
Yeah, I completely.
You're
the
absolutely
minute-
right about
screen.
that.
Like, what is this?
100%
like, a
agree with
sports
you.
but I
grill?
still like that it's so
Sports bar?
huge.
And
I
also,
really
why didn't
enjoy
they
this
just like
Yeah,
scoop
I
them
get it.
together a little more?
And when Owen comes
Anyway.
on, I am
Also
glued to the
dude.
screen.
It's all weird.
Well, it's because I don't know.
Anyway,
It's because they thought they could get by with it because they're putting up the different images on the screen.
Right. Okay, I get
but
that
they could have
now.
done that with the large screen.
Right, exactly.
And we would have had it good both ways.
Yep.
They were like, guys, we can save money because we're already going to split it up.
Right. Like someone
I
should
do
stop
kind
that.
of like it the way it
And
like
it's not
zooms
even
and
real.
stuff.
They're like, sorry.
What scene?
I
It's
do
just 'cause
kind of
we're
like
watching
it the way
video.
it like zooms and stuff. It like it just did.
I think
Like
it's
it
great.
cuts to blockiness and like
Yeah.
The TV thing isn't valid. I don't think because it's making it work.
They made it work. It would be better. I agree they made it work. I just think it would be better if it was a large
Yeah.
screen.
Definitely.
And also, this room works well for like everyone being able to like
Perfectly
continue
you
fitted.
can see it the whole time.
Yes.
going
Yeah,
while you
okay,
can
but it
stay
plays
on there.
like 5 times
No,
when you're
it
waiting
plays
in
about
line.
one and a half
At least
times.
twice.
Yeah, twice is what I always think.
What?
But I like
in the
to see
time
it
when it
twice.
was like a 45-minute wait when like one of the times I wrote it, the first
I've
time I
seen it.
wrote
I've-
it, it was like
There's been a time where
saw
I-
at least 5 times.
There's been a time where I didn't even get to finish it.
But it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing. I think this pre-show does what I want in a pre-show, which is convince me that what I'm watching is part of the ride. I feel like there
Yeah.
are the control tower
Totally.
for this ride,
And it explains
I'm
it to you
having do
straight
this.
up. It's not trying to
Yeah.
give you some deep backstory.
Right.
It's
I'm
just
always like a little
here's
bit
this
disappointed
ride.
when I don't see Owen later on as I'm like getting on the ride and going.
Like,
he
if
should
this
still
was
be there somewhere.
if this was Spider-Man and like you know how they're giving this whole backstory to the Scoop and stuff, it would be like them explaining the construction of this ride
Of
and
just
when
the
it was
Scoop,
built
right.
and when they thought of it and like everything.
I think you're right. I think this is
They're
about as
quick
good
with it.
as we can get of a pre-show these days.
And
it's short and it's
we start in that
comprehensive.
room and it's like feels so real because we just saw them acting like that and then
Mhm.
it sounds like that there. It's so good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think this is definitely an example of a line that they designed well for the show.
I'm voting Velocicoaster.
Like Tay and I understand that sometime you wrote it and you had to see it several times because that was a weird time when there was probably only like one car running or something.
Yeah.
But usually it's about once and
Yeah,
between
that room
once and
is
twice.
fast.
Okay, what are we voting? Velocicoaster or Spider-Man?
Velocicoaster.
Dan?
I don't care.
I'm voting
You have to vote.
Velocicoaster.
Spider-Man.
Very good.
You lose.
All right, the last two in this bracket. E.T. versus VillainCon.
E.T.
All right, so hold
Let's
on.
not
I don't even know
talk.
what the hell VillainCon is.
Let's not even
Yeah, you're
talk
right. But
because
I completely
VillainCon
agree.
is trying to
I
like
want to see
continue-
what video you pulled up for VillainCon
They wanna
pre-show.
see
It's not
the
whole,
no,
like,
not even that.
thing.
Hold on.
Is it not
hold on.
that whole video like that plays on the
VillainCon pre-show is a joke, and that video is a joke because you
Yeah.
literally see 5 seconds of it at a time, and it's like always the same
Because
5
you're
seconds.
glued to your phone setting up your gun.
The video,
Yeah,
Right,
most
and
of it's
then you're
trivia.
just walking
There-
through too.
it's trivia. There is some funny things.
Wait. If we are counting trivia and TVs,
Despicable
Despicable
Me.
Me has those too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Sure.
I don't care.
But we didn't mention
Still
that earlier.
same ranking.
It already won.
No, it
Oh, it
didn't.
lost. Never mind.
It
But hold
didn't.
on. Here's what I really want to show you guys. There is the ET video that you're all familiar with as the
Yeah.
pre-show
Yeah.
for ET. But the original ET video, I really want you to watch.
I've
Was
never
it in the
seen
same
that.
place?
Yeah.
Or do you mean farther out in the line?
No, it was in the same place. But
So wait, they
Changed it?
you and I had it, but we've seen 3 versions
they've
of
had
the ET ride.
Okay, I don't
video.
even. I just pull it up
Let's watch this.
because even the
puppy.
one we watched today is old. So I need
You
to
watched
see
one
what-
today?
Even the one we watched today,
Oh,
like
Yes,
when we're
right.
there, is still old.
That's the
so
newest
what
one.
did they change it to?
all right. Are we ready? This is very much like what I said earlier, how Universal always thought about,
Making the movies?
yeah, you're making a movie,
Okay.
always. So here you go.
Riding the movies.
This is, right, the movies.
It's so square.
It is the squariest square.
Square. It is very square.
It's a rounded square
Oh
though, so I
my
guess not really.
gosh. It's Steven
Steven eating
Spielberg in a
popcorn.
theater.
Who reaches over and eats some of his popcorn? E.T.
E.T. reaches into his bag.
What is in this bag,
Don't eat my popcorn, E.T.
Casting us as actors.
Cast you as actors. Okay.
I don't like that.
Keep listening. So here's
yeah,
our
they
role
stopped
in
doing
the
this
story.
because it's very like confusing.
It is. But you get the idea. You're getting.
I don't
vibes.
like it.
Shocked
Yeah, well,
that-
I don't like this as much because we're actors, and in the new one, we're
It's so weird.
we're
calling it
actually
new.
going there.
We're saving E.T.
We are actually part of the like not
Right.
the show, but the reality.
and it's like real lore of like E.T. It's not just a movie.
well, yeah, but E.T. is a movie, so it makes
But
sense
it's like
that
we're
they would do
in the
this.
movie. So that we're actually on ET's real planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I like being a real part of the reality rather
Look.
than a real part of the movie. A closed set.
It's a closed set, so this is your
It's a
credentials.
That
closed
makes
set,
so
so
much
that's
more
how you
sense.
enter.
That makes
Exactly.
so much more sense for
So
that.
like, can I see your credentials, please? Yes,
Yep.
here it is. It's my card.
Not
with my
even gonna
name.
lie, I still think like it's more confusing than what they have now.
No, 100%.
It is
It's like
because
what?
but
I'm a
it
actor,
makes more
I'm a
sense
for the
cast,
card.
But ET already came out.
this is
you
your
know.
interplanetary passport is way better. And then ET, well, like in this story, why would ET say your name at the
What
end?
if every Universal ride back then was just like
you're an
you're gonna
actor.
be in ET
on a
2,
set.
you're gonna be in Jaws 2, the
You're
second
here-
movie,
So much was though. Like
yeah, it really
it
was.
even, like,
Back to the Future 2,
King
Ride the
Kong.
movie. Movies.
4.
it was very much Ride the Movies. King Kong. I don't remember what that one was. I don't think it was that. But Murder She Wrote was you're on the set today to help us do the audio for Murder
Yeah.
She Wrote. Like it was so
I can
much
see
of that.
why that they couldn't keep that theme forever because
No.
it's a little limited. Like you have to be really interested in movies.
Yeah.
All right, ET over Villain Con.
Yes. I don't even
Absolutely.
want to watch Villain Con.
Yeah.
Villain Con is like cute because it's like
Also,
that news guy.
I'm
They're
not
trying to go
voting
for Jaws or something, but it's
I'm not voting for that video we just saw. I'm voting for the one we usually see.
That's fine.
Oh, me
Yeah,
That's fine.
too.
That's
I
fine.
love
Me
seeing
too.
that.
Which
though.
is the third version, I should say that. So there's the version I just showed you, which is the oldest version. Then there's a middle version that has everything we know in it now, but it was much more confusing. Like it, it was still the same mission. Like ET's planet is in trouble, help him find his people.
Botanicus.
Yeah, but instead of
whatnot.
like them showing the bubbles up there, the people in it, like
Yeah.
it was vague on what you were doing. Like
Yeah, they
they
need the
streamlined it.
bubbles.
Yeah, they've streamlined that at least 2 more times since that first video.
It was very confusing for a
and
long time.
updated the card too.
Right.
Yeah.
They've added a fake old man hand. with
Okay.
the new card.
So we don't have to watch any more
Old
videos.
man.
Now
Yeah.
we've watched them all. Now it's
Okay.
time
Wait,
to
they
just-
didn't change that.
I thought they did.
No.
It's always been the same.
If they change that, when they show the video, it's still the old card.
Is it?
Yeah.
I
I,
was a
didn't,
new
I
one.
thought it
No.
changes.
Oh yeah,
That
they
y'all
didn't
are dreaming
make a
it
new
up.
card.
I promise.
What do you call that? Mandela effect.
Oh, I was gonna say
ET
interplanetary
effect.
Oh,
passport.
I know that.
All right.
All right, so now we're down to the second
Now we don't need
round.
to watch anymore.
Right. So now
We
we're
can
we're
debate.
debating Fallon and Jaws. That's our matchup in the top bracket.
Round 2.
Fallon or
I don't
Jaws.
know what is fair because
I know. I mean,
It's hard.
No, what's fair is I'm looking at them and picking Fallon.
What's
Jaws.
fair?
I'm looking at them and just picking which ones I really do like more.
Jaws.
So
Jaws.
Fallon. Saying.
Dan?
Fallon.
I think that
Okay,
makes
so
the most
spin
sense
a
that we
go
would
spin a
split
flip
this
a
way.
coin thing.
No,
Dad.
no. Let's debate it first. I
I'm
just
not
think Fallon
changing.
is more. It's real people performing for you. I would
That's
count
what
like
I'm
the
saying.
games and stuff as the pre-show.
So I'm not
love
counting
how
that because
much-
I consider that the
I love
line.
the work they put into Jaws, but the whole thing is the line, and like it's
Yeah,
just
like,
you aren't
that's a
gonna. You probably
different
wouldn't
type
see
of-
the whole thing unless you're there on opening day.
It's a different type of time for pre-shows where it'd be a long line of
Okay.
nothingness and you
And-
just needed something to pass the time. You didn't have your
and
phone.
let's be for real,
Okay.
that
And
rap
Fallon
is
has-
better.
So Fallon is just
Fallon has
the-
A-listers.
I'll say this: the Jaws 2 video was really just there to pass the time.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't adding anything to the video. To
You're
the
right.
ride.
100%. It doesn't
Fallon
even have anything
is
to do with
convincing
it.
you to enjoy the
It
ride.
was
a
there.
little.
It
Yeah,
was adding
just
to
because
the
it's
ride.
dated doesn't mean it
I
was ever
think-
good.
It got you in the vibe for the ride.
It
But
was like, why am I here? I'm here because I'm a tourist in Amity.
Sure.
And I'm hoping that the shark doesn't kill us.
yeah, but that's something you could just assume by also getting on the ride. That's why it probably existed for 2 years without it too.
It's a cute
Maybe.
idea. It's just old and
I think the
think-
production value of
I appreciate
Fallon is
it, but yeah,
impressive.
Production value for Jaws back in 1990 would have been crazy impressive.
Yeah, I mean, they had to work on that for a long time.
Long time.
Fallon. Well, let's just do it.
I can go with
I
that.
can be okay with
I'm
that.
mad at
Yep.
Jaws for being Gringotts still.
All right, Oh, this is crazy because these are almost identical.
Yeah.
They
Simpsons
are.
and Back to the Future.
They're sisters.
It's wild that this worked out this way.
But this sucks though. These are like
Simpsons.
some of my favorite.
again thinking about Itchy and Scratchy.
I think Simpsons is the best.
and
I think Back to the Future is better because it gives
I like
you
Simpsons
ties to the
more.
ride more. Okay.
I'm going Simpsons. I think it's the
All right.
best. I don't want to spoil anything.
I'm voting
but
Back to the Future, but that's okay. All right, Earthquake or T2? This is
Mm.
pretty
And remember,
interesting.
this is not disaster. It does not include the.
Right.
When I was
Christmas.
watching that
Disaster
T2
not
thing,
born.
honestly, I feel like it went on for way too long. Like that video of like just random
Well,
clips.
you know how long Bourne
stock
goes on
footage
for.
playing.
Well, yeah,
right,
but
right, exactly.
that was an 8-minute video. I swear I'm not standing there
You
for 8
definitely
minutes
do.
during
Yeah.
that video.
The Bourne video.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
saying
I
the
really
Bourne
do-
videos are. That's not 8 minutes.
I think it really is, Zane.
I think it could be
really
too.
seems like
the video
at least
itself,
5 minutes,
I think
and
it
then
might
like
find it
I could
later.
imagine 3 extra like minutes that just fly by.
I think that
Oh,
the
Oh my
has it
God, we have
ready.
the video. Here's the proof.
I think the earthquake show
Oh,
is a little
9.
bit too.
Well, but wait, I need to see like the start of the video and the end.
Okay,
See, look,
well, when
they
does
are
it start?
walking
When
through
does
the
it start?
entire thing.
The
Hold
other
on,
one
when
had-
does the vid- when does the
if
vid
we see
actually-
the end of the video in this,
Okay,
it's
but
not 8
the other one
minutes
had that
anymore.
stuff too.
Yeah, the T2 stuff. Yeah, that's fair.
250, and it goes all the way to the end. So
Yeah.
seven some minutes.
It's not. It's
Yeah.
probably like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Bourne video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
He was just
Anyway.
saying. He was just saying that the T2 video is longer than the Bourne video, and I don't think it is.
But the T2
But there's
video
also a
seemed
real
very
person
long.
in T2.
Yeah,
Right.
you're
An
right.
actor, not somebody on the screen.
I think Earthquake is
I think
definitely
it's
better
Earthquake
than T2.
though.
I think Earthquake is too movie centric.
That's
Like
what's
not
great about
everybody
it.
And
walking
I
through
just
there
remember-
really
like,
cares
any
about all
thinking
that.
Anything
back
to
to the
be movie
videos,
centric, it'd
The
be
only cool
Earthquake.
thing about Earthquake is like, oh, the screen drops and there's a real whatever.
And you learn
But-
about how they made it.
But most people don't care.
I don't know. These
mean,
are
that's the whole
both
thing
really
about
weird
original
ones that I
Universal
don't
altogether.
feel comfortable saying. This is a you and mom situation. You've been on these.
I say Earthquake because I think it's more impressive than just a video and an actor.
Okay, mom.
T2, I think it's perfect.
Okay. Flip a coin.
You guys can vote.
I'm not.
You
I
watch
really
them?
am not.
Please
I vote
vote.
for-
We have to.
I vote for T2. It
Okay,
is
then
cool.
T2 it is because I'm
All
not
right.
voting.
That's a cool universe to like immerse yourself in.
Yeah.
I wish Disaster was there instead, but
We're gonna do an episode on it, baby. Don't worry.
I'm excited for
Velocicoaster
Wait,
or ET?
It can be
This
a
is really
movie
hard.
episode where you watch disaster.
That's not a movie.
Oh, that's right. Earthquakes.
E.T.
We have to watch a bunch of disaster movies. Okay.
Right,
Anyway,
like just a classic.
I think
one.
Again,
Velocicoaster is better than ET.
I think
We're
Velocicoaster
just-
does
No.
better, but again, I'm looking at
Guys,
them and
no.
thinking which one I love, and I said ET.
You
Yeah,
can't think
it's
about you
ET.
can't think about the ride you love. You got to separate the
That's
ride.
not
from
saying
the
the
ride.
ride.
That's not what I
Velocicoaster's
said.
pre-show's not that
I was
good.
thinking
Y'all are
about the
overhyping it.
things.
I like
And
it.
I should have fought for it more with Spider-Man, but it's just Spider-Man's an old one, and I don't know how I would fight
So
for
you
that.
I like
like
the
but
Jaws
Vol-
ride more than the
All right.
Jimmy Fallon's ride itself, but
It does have Steven Spielberg in it. And what
so
more
are you
can we
saying
ask
that you
for?
vote for ET or
Oh, T2.
everybody
At the
voted for
top.
ET?
Yeah, you didn't.
Right, because I didn't vote.
Oh, what did
but
you vote for?
She was going to
Diamond
vote for
and
Velocicoaster.
I could switch to that. So if you think
I'm
that, I
I'm
don't
voting
care.
ET. I thought everybody else did too. So what is it?
So we got ET,
Mhm.
and 2 undecideds.
I
over
mean,
here.
I
he
was
said
ET.
ET.
Well, then I say Velocicoaster.
Okay.
I want to be the dissent.
All right, Fallon or Simpsons?
Simpsons.
This is to get
Simpsons.
into the final
I agree
Game.
with that.
I just love how
championship game.
All right, T2 or ET?
Here we go.
E2.
ET.
E- E2.
E.T.
T2.
E2. E.T. E2.
T2 or ET?
E2.
E.T.
T2 or ET?
I'm going ET.
The second
T2 or
one.
ET? ET or T2?
T2 ET.
ET2.
T2 ET.
All right, I'll have to
T2
go
ET.
with ET. It has
I said
Steven
earlier
Spielberg.
we're
And
the
that's
ones
best
starring in
director
Spielberg
ET2.
in
ever.
it. I mean, he makes me almost cry every time I see
I
it.
know.
Oh, computer
Uh-oh.
died.
No, that's good.
Just kidding.
Okay, so ET is in the final.
Against the Simpsons.
The
It's our
final
championship
dance.
game.
Hey, I mean,
Those
if
are both
we're-
good.
Again, thinking of pre-shows, thinking of love, Simpsons for me.
Me too.
I've always since I
Simpsons
was
is the
young.
best, and the
Since
thing-
I was young, I've always been
Me
like,
too.
wow, they use Itchy and Scratchy for the thing. That's so
And
brilliant.
the thing that I said
Yeah.
about it
To
earlier in
think
the
that from a
episode
young age
is
about
crazy.
the farther you get in line, like the more pre-show you get, but you always are getting pre-show.
ends,
It
yep.
never ends. It's awesome. It's the best.
and the
It
Steven
really is.
Spielberg
Even when
thing,
you're walking out up the incline, like outside, that's a good view.
the ET clip makes me happy because
That's not
we
part
just
of the
entered
show.
the room where I
Let's
can
say
finally
this.
smell the scent, and I'm just like
Yes.
getting the vibes
Yeah.
in. So it's just like exciting.
It's like the only redeeming part of The Simpsons,
In
right? To me.
ET, like Zane's saying, you're watching that video and you are happy to be inside, but you're looking forward to 2 other things that are about to happen. You're going to get your card. You're going to walk through that great line and get the great scent. So
Yeah.
it's just it's a cool video,
think about
but
it
it's just
this
a video
way.
where Simpsons is like a whole experience
the whole time.
time.
Think about it this way. Imagine if they didn't have a pre-show. For E.T., that's explainable. You're on a bike like in the movie. You watch the movie. It's explainable. But Simpsons would be so confusing. They're at like
why?
Krusty
What's
Land,
this
there's
amusement
things
park?
going on.
Like,
why
is
is
it here?
Maggie huge? Like
Yeah.
that would
Right.
be
None of
so
it makes
cringe
sense.
if there wasn't a good
You're
pre-show.
so
No
right.
description for
Which
why
means-
Maggie was
Think about it
huge.
that way. It's
Which
fun.
means you're living in a Simpsons cartoon from the minute you step into the line
Yeah.
to the
Yes.
minute you get off the ride.
It's like a
you enter
Simpsons
Krusty's mouth.
movie experience.
We did it, guys. We found the best one.
I really
think
do
so.
think this is
I
a
think
good
it might
one.
be.
It really is.
That's why I was excited to say it.
Which is interesting because it takes all of the tropes of the old pre-shows.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it is
it's
like a classic-
making fun
Right.
of like the Universal
Right.
pre-shows.
And
And
is
it's the best.
And you actually get to watch a lot of it. Like we've seen a lot
so
of this.
just like going
I hope
backwards,
Simpsons
let's look
never
at what
closes.
Simpsons beat, because like you said in the beginning, Tayan, you don't get to play every team. You know,
Right.
Doesn't
but
close.
here's who Simpsons beat. They beat
Fast and Furious.
Good. Valid.
no
It beat
Simpsons beat
Hagrid's.
Hagrid's first,
Then
and
it
then
beat-
it beat
what,
Back
you're
to the
saying
Future.
just the stuff that Simpsons beat?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the ones we put up head to head. So it beat Hagrid's, BTTF, and Fallon, and now it's beating ET to get to the end. So that's a pretty good run.
Which is funny.
Yeah, those are
like
like
it didn't
goated
play like
rides.
low tier teams.
It's funny because this is a Cinderella story. This is a Cinderella team. As you see here, Simpsons came
Simpsons
in
is
as a
4.
4 seed, which means it's a bottom seed, and it beat a 1
It was
seed.
a Cinderella story the whole time.
then-
I think
Mom.
the seeding
Then it beat
committee
a
is
2 seed,
maybe needs to be expanded in
and
the
then it beat
future.
a 4 seed, and then it beat. You're right. The selection committee should definitely be larger. But they never show up to anything.
They never show up.
I've invited the selection committee to everything, and
And
they
then